I get this question a lot. So let me use this video to explain to you the options we have to make our Plaza posts look as good as possible. I'll explain how the application works first, and I'll give you guys some tips on how I draw in the Plaza. Let's take a look at the UI. On the top left, we have the restart option, which you can activate by pressing the left stick. This will let you wipe the canvas completely so you can start over. The CL and CR buttons are now the undo and redo function in Splatoon 3. Instead of having only one, we now have 5 steps back and 5 steps forward. Right next to it, we have the zoom in option with the X button. The last spot you touch on the screen will be the expanded area. Next, we have the brush sizes, which are still 3, but now we can switch between eraser and pencil by clicking the B or A button respectively. You can select a different size by pressing the L or R button to move to the left or the right. If you're using a stylus, you can choose the option you want by clicking on it directly. There is actually an official way to create straight lines on the Switch. You put your pen or finger down where you want the line to start, hold it, and then press the end point where you want the line to go. I find this to be more of a liability since I can't rest my palm on the Switch, otherwise it will be detected as one of the starting or ending points and I'll end up with a bunch of unwanted lines. I actually have a drawing glove that I use with my tablet, and this did not prevent the Switch from drawing with my palm. The Y button now allows us to flick back and forth between a horizontal and vertical aspect without affecting the current drawing. Just don't forget that the leftmost part of the post is the top of the post when it becomes vertical. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with an upside down drawing. With the minus button, you can now exit the application and save your progress, come back and finish your drawing later. And with the plus button, you can post it to social media as well as to the Plaza. There's no need to freak out if you accidentally post your drawing earlier. You can always press the B button to cancel the post and your drawing will still be there. Now, onto the tips. My first and most important tip for you guys is to always plan your drawing ahead. Plan on your head what your drawing is going to look like, what space is going to take in the canvas, and then try to do a quick sketch with the smallest pencil. After that, you can start refining details and erasing away extra pixels. And this way you don't have a very detailed, we usually start with the head, and then you don't know what to do with the body because you didn't plan for it and now it doesn't fit in your canvas in any way. Think about the composition, think about what's going to be in the drawing, and think if you're going to make it horizontal or vertical before you even start. Similar to the previous tip, once you have your line art, make sure to plan your shadows ahead. Outline the areas that you want to shade and then only shade that part so you don't have to waste your time shading extra. Once you're done shading the area, you can delete the outline. I recommend that you do your shading with the D-pad instead of the pencil. The cleaner, perfectly placed pixels will look more like a flat color than messy, sketchy lines. On the end, it depends on what you want. You can achieve an array of gray tones depending on how far you place pixels from each other when you shade. So if you leave 2 spaces between pixels, or 3 spaces, or 4, or you make a line pattern, it's going to give a different effect. In the end, it's all just black and white, but you can create the illusion of tones that way. Using a stylus will greatly increase your precision. The 3DS or drawing tablet pens are not gonna work, and even if they did, the Switch has no pressure function itself, so there's no difference in performance between the cheapest pen to the most expensive one. I recommend getting a $1 or $2 pen with a rubber tip, and if it works on your phone, it's gonna work on your Switch. The pen featured in this video is so cheap that it is in fact not marked in any way by any brand. It is just a cheap gift shop pen, and it's doing wonders for me. Line weight is a little bit of extra polish you can give your Plaza post drawings. It packs a little extra punch that you wouldn't otherwise have if all the lines were the same size. Line weight is when you have a different width of the line depending on if objects are touching each other or the curvature of the line. It also gives the drawing a little bit of personality. What works for me is drawing a thick line first and then erasing away to create that change in line size or width. The thing that's gonna affect your Plaza post's quality the most is how much time you put into it. I finished the Shiver line art in about 20 minutes, and then I spent about an hour and a half just drawing every dot on her hair and shading the rest of it. So I could have left it just unshaded, it wouldn't have looked as quote-unquote impressive. And Again, the more time you spend deleting any extra pixel that is not supposed to be there, the better your Plaza pose is going to look. As you guys can see, the Plaza pose tab is not a miracle worker. Your art style will be reflected on the final result. All artists are on a journey to improve, experiment, and change their art style. So enjoy the process, don't compare yourselves to others, or don't compare other art styles as well. And let me know if this video was helpful to you. Also, if you have any tips you want to share to others, please feel free to comment below. If you have any questions, go ahead. Take care of each other and have a good day. So I just realized that this video is massive. I try to not speed the drawing too much because it was chopping out the process. And it looked more like lines were appearing out of nowhere rather than me doing the job. So I will leave you guys the video here. Maybe you find it hypnotizing or comforting. I don't know. Maybe you want to check it out if I actually drew every dot there. You can confirm. I try to be as transparent as possible. I don't draw directly on the switch anymore. I only did this for this video so I could give you guys examples on how to work with what you got. I had been using a macro on Splatoon 2 that is not working on Splatoon 3 right now, but I am working with a friend who's a programmer that will help me provide these file converted U in a way that it works for Splatoon 3. So please be patient on that regard. I will also make a video on how to use that. I don't have much else to say, so enjoy the video. Maybe leave it running in the background so I can monetize this channel. Bye bye.